Okay, good morning, everybody. Today we are going to start with the Hong Kong Convention. Okay, this is a very important convention as of now because recently it has been it has met its fulfillment criteria. That also we will look. Now, first of all, why do we want to talk about Hong Kong Convention? What was existing before that? That all things we'll have a discussion now. So, in this convention, the complete name of the convention is your International Convention for the Safe and Environmentally Sound Recycling of Ships, 2009. So this convention was adopted in the year. The date which you always see with the convention, whether it is BWM 2004, MLC 2006, that is all always the adoption date. And a Marpol 73, 78, it is the adoption date. Okay, this is what we'll look for. This is the complete convention. Okay, some definitions are here. Okay. So now let us start with the PPT and directly we'll jump into the content. Now, first of all, why we need this? What was the problem? What is the need of this convention? So as the name itself says, there are two things here. One is the safety. Next is the environment. We are concerned about two things here, safety and the environment. Now, if you talk about safety, which safety we talk about? For the crew? Additionally, we also talk about the safety of the people who are working in the ship recycling facilities, ship breaking, which we used to call before. Now, no more we will call it as a scrapping of a ship or a breaking of a ship. That is called the recycling. Okay, it is called the recycling. I will just, sorry.
What's the exact full form? Convention for the safe?
For the safe and environmentally sound recycling of the ship. I'll write that, don't worry. Like I just showed you here, this one. International Convention for the safe and environmentally sound recycling of ships, 2009. We'll write that. Okay, you can just note it down otherwise. But in such case, it is International Convention for the safe and environmentally sound recycling of ships, 2009. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now if you see here, just watch a video so that you know what is the scenario going on in the ship recycling facilities before. What was the thing before? Why we needed this convention? So just watch this small video.
What's the best thing to do with a ship at the end of its lifetime? Abandon it? Sink it? As far as the environment is concerned, the best solution by far is to recycle it. And that makes economic sense too, not just for ship owners, but also for the communities where ship recycling has become so important. Almost every part of a ship can be recycled, from the steel of its hull to the machinery, equipment, fittings, and even the furniture inside it. Recycled steel is far cheaper than smelting iron ore to make new steel. It requires less power and results in...
From ship recycling, let me tell you a fact, India receives almost around 20% of its steel consumption. Just from ship recycling, it's a very huge number. Okay, so much is the contribution of steel coming from the ships.
Fewer harmful emissions. Industrial units and even villages can be powered using ships' generators. Ship recycling provides direct and...
Now you see the problem here. You see this person, he's working in ship breaking yard with just slippers. No safety gear, nothing. Okay, that was a big problem. Now because of this, a lot of people suffered injuries. Many of the people died. They were exposed to dangerous substances directly, like asbestos and all. There used to occur explosions. They were not aware of something called as enclosed space entry. Nothing like oxygen level. A lot of fatalities happened in ship recycling facilities.
Secondary employment for thousands of workers, both in the industry itself and in the markets for materials and components that have been generated by it. Almost all the world's ship recycling today is carried out in 5 countries: Turkey, China, Pakistan.
Major players are in Asia. One is Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, China, and Turkey. Only 5 are the major. Okay, only Turkey is over there, and most all we have here only.
Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh. And it is these 3 South Asian countries, Bangladesh in particular, that have become the focus of global efforts to improve standards in what is a vital industry for them and for shipping. While ship recycling makes sense for economic, social, and environmental reasons, the working practices and
You see how they are
environmental
doing,
standards
huh?
in recycling
Just
yards
use slippers they are
often
working.
leave much to be desired.
So you see now, see this condition, Anna. There, all people are trying to pull something. Everybody is together. There are no use of machinery and all. You see, all people are pulling something. Huh?
In May 2009, IMO adopted the Hong Kong
May
International
2009.
Convention for safe and
Hong
environmentally
Kong.
sound recycling of ships.
You see, the convention happened in Hong Kong. That is why we call it as a Hong Kong Convention. Like if you remember, I also taught you, or you will learn it later, about Nairobi Reg Convention. So where the convention is adopted, generally we also give it that same name, and like Nairobi Reg Convention, okay, London Dumping Convention.
When the Hong Kong Convention enters into force, it will provide inclusive and effective standards that can be applied universally. It places responsibilities and obligations on all parties concerned: ship owners, recycling facilities, flag states, and recycling states. Through workshops, training,
So
and
for
other
this, what we
similar
will do in the ship recycling facilities, we will do the training of the all workers who are working there. Na? We'll provide them medical insurance. We'll provide them good living facilities. We'll provide them good food and all. Na?
projects, IMO is currently working with Bangladesh and the other recycling countries to help build the capacity and establish the conditions that will enable them to ratify the Hong Kong Convention. But this is a complex issue, often involving many different ministries and industry groups. The Hong Kong Convention does not prohibit the practice of beaching. That would destroy the industry in Bangladesh. But it will enable Bangladesh and other recycling countries to improve environmental standards and conditions for workers in a realistic and achievable manner. And, perhaps even more importantly, the Hong Kong Convention allows for future improvements, providing a platform and a
So enough of introduction. Okay, I hope you have understood why we needed this convention. Enough of the background. Now we start with the content. What is the full form? The full name is the Hong Kong International Convention for the Safe and Environmentally Sound Recycling of Ships. It was adopted in the year 15 May 2009. Now entry into force. When this convention entered into force, anybody has an idea? Is it already into force?
In 2025.
25. 23. The Hong Kong Convention is aimed at ensuring that ships, when being recycled at reaching their end of operational lives, do not pose any unnecessary, important line is this one, in orals, do not pose any risk to human health and safety. So this is about the safe part here, safe comes there, and or to the environment. This is about the environmentally sound. So it does not pose any risk to the human health or safety and to the environment. That is the main goal of this convention. Okay, it is applicable to what? It is applicable to the shipbuilders, applicable to the flag states, applicable to the ship owners, applicable to the ship recycling countries. Okay. So please write the latest amendment with respect to your Hong Kong Convention. The committee noted that entry into force condition of HKC. Okay, there is something called as the entry into force criteria for each convention that has been met on the date of 26 June 2023, when Bangladesh and Liberia ratified the convention. Okay, when they also become a member to it. Okay, it is not ratification but an accession of the convention. What is meant by ratification and what is meant by accession? I'll give you a brief difference. Ratification means signing the convention or becoming a member to it when it was open for signature. Like suppose I adopted the convention today in the year, let's say 2009. So maybe for 2 years I will keep it as a ratification time. That 2 years everybody is welcome to sign the convention. that is called as a ratification. And if you do after that time frame, that is called as a accession. Understood? Yes or no? What is meant by this accession?
Signing of the convention after
Yes.
given time.
After given time. And now, as it has met its criteria, it was signed in 26 June 2023. Now we have something called as a grace period. We have something called as a grace period. What is grace period? Like when the convention's ratification criteria or the entry into force criteria is met, there's a time frame we have to give in between. That is called as a grace period. So it is 24 months for HKC. That is why you see here 26 June 2023, and it will come into force on 26 June 2025. Okay, are you clear with this? The latest amendment of HKC? If any doubt, please ask. Okay, this is important. Okay, you have to remember the entry into force date and Bangladesh and Liberia, names of these two countries. Okay, Liberia, many of you might have seen on Liberian flag also, and Bangladesh, you know, our neighbor. Now, currently, India is the leading ship recycling country that leads with around more than 20% of the world's recycling. Leading one is India, then Bangladesh, then China and Pakistan. So you can see how the people are working. Okay, they are working with no facilities. Okay, so now we start with the question they asked recently in orals. What do you mean by cradle to grave? He just said the words cradle to grave. First of all, what is cradle? Can anybody tell me what is cradle?
Cradle is putting the baby into that.
Like when you have, I'm not sure how you say in English, but we in Hindi we call it as a palna, hai na? Something like that. You put the baby in that, you can move it here and there, so that the baby sleeps soundly, hai na? That is called as a cradle. Cradle means for a newborn baby. For a newborn baby. Grave means when the person has died. Same way, what this convention says, that this convention's scope is from the day ship is built till the ship is recycled. It is covered till then. Okay, that is why they will ask you a question. What do you mean by cradle to grave? So you can say, so this is a phrase in reference to your Hong Kong Convention, which signifies the applicability of the convention. That this convention applies from the day ship is built till the ship is completely recycled. Okay, understood?
एक बार एक्सप्लेन और कीजिए
Sorry?
सर एक बार और
Okay.
एक्सप्लेन कीजिएगा
Okay, I'll write it better. I'll write it. So the question asked to you was, recently it was asked question. The phrase was cradle to grave posted by surveyor. Okay, cradle to grave. So you can tell in this, so it is a phrase. It is a phrase used in reference to Hong Kong Convention. Okay, it is a phrase used in reference to Hong Kong Convention. So it signifies the applicability of the convention. The applicability of convention, which applies to ship from the construction stage to recycling stage. Recycling stage. This you will understand in the course of lecture. Have you understood now? Okay. So the HKC will apply from the day ship is built till the ship is recycled completely. That is called as the cradle to grave. Okay. Yes, everybody is understood? Okay. Now, every stakeholder involved, who are involved in this? The manufacturer of the equipments, shipyards, ship operators, ship recycling facilities. Everybody is involved in this. Okay, and what they want to control? They want to control the hazardous material on board the ship. Whatever hazardous material are there on board, and what are the various risks of the ship recycling facilities. That will have a look. Now, in this case, how will you control the hazardous material? Okay, how would you control the hazardous material? That we will look. So in here we have something called as a IHM. We have something called as IHM. First of all, when I want to make the ship, like many of you might have seen a certificate called as asbestos-free certificate. Yes, asbestos. There is something called as asbestos-free certificate. And you might have seen that. When the vessel is built, okay, they will get a asbestos-free certificate which certifies that we are not using any form of asbestos on board. We are not using any asbestos on board. Okay. Now, this convention tells you are not supposed to use any hazardous material on board. So there is a list of complete 13 items which are banned under your HKC convention. When the ship is being made, you are not supposed to use around 13 materials which are prohibited by the convention. How many? 13. Okay. And after that, you will make something called as IHM. There's a very, very common question being asked. This will do in detail. What is IHM? Okay. And then you have to keep the records of all types of hazardous material which you might have used in some limited quantities. Okay. And their location where you have used such materials. There's a plan where you have to include, like what type of material, even if you should avoid it, or you should limit the use. Even if you have used, you should keep it in a map, okay, or in a plan where it is being used, okay, how much is the quantity of same, and what is the location. Now this is for the ship side. This is for the ship side. This is for the ship based. Now coming on to the shore side, what we will do for the shore? Shore means the SRF, ship recycling facility. Minimize risk of worker safety and environmental impact. Policy ensuring safety and protection of human health and environment. PPE and clothing should be given. Proper training should be given to the workers. Okay, appropriate training and familiarization of the prior to recycling. Management of hazardous material. Now let us say I take the hazardous material from the ship. Okay, I do not dump it into the sea, but I throw that in the land. So that is also not a good thing. So you should tell the complete process, how you are going to throw this hazardous material. Okay, description of hazardous material storage and processing facilities. Okay, so this is for the shore side, means the SRF, ship recycling facility. On the ship, we will try to restrict the use of hazardous material. Then we'll keep a record of IHM. And last one is your where you have used the hazardous material. Okay. Now, what is IHM? The most important question. What is IHM? Very, very frequently asked question. If you can open up question in Telegram, just type IHM. You will see minimum 50 questions in that. Minimum. Out of 10 times, if they ask HKC question, 6 times will be having IHM in that. What is IHM? IHM stands for, first of all, inventory of hazardous material. What is that? Inventory of hazardous material. Please write it. Now, what is IHM? IHM gives insight, means where it is the presence of hazardous materials on board a ship. It will tell the location, minimizing risk to the health of employees and environment. So if you know the location, then you know what actions you have to take. For an example, IHM tests the presence of PCBs, mercury compounds, asbestos, radioactive substances, and chromium-6. Some of the materials which are banned in the or restricted in the IHM. Okay, and IHM is not that it is only during the construction. This report is dynamic. Dynamic means which will keep on changing. Okay, which will keep on changing. Okay. So in IHM, we have generally 3 parts. Okay, we have 3 parts: IHM part 1, part 2, part 3. Now we will discuss about that. Guys, is it clear until here? Everybody, Abhishek, Mr. Deepak, Arpit, Rajpal,
Yes, sir.
Vinay,
Yes,
Tanam
Yes,
sir.
sir.
If you have any doubt, you are always free to stop me, okay? Don't feel shy or something. Okay, always be comfortable in the class. Just treat me like a friend only. Now, when we want to make the IHM has to be, yes.
I doubt
Akshay.
also the rectification and accession that system बताने के clear करने के बाद clear नहीं हुआ.
Okay, Akshay, would you mind if I tell you after the class, after HKC, है ना? Because we'll be going off topic then. Okay. Just sorry for that. Okay. Now, first part will start with the building stage. Okay, building stage. So when the vessel is built, it is supposed to make IHM. Okay, it is supposed to make IHM. New build vessels are obliged to carry an IHM report. During the building stage, the shipyard, in cooperation with the ship owner, shall set up a IHM that is based on material declaration. Now, suppose in a shipyard, if I am making my ship, we have my own shipyard, then let's say I'm taking some items from Akshay. And let's say he's sending some generator, he's sending some boiler, he's sending some motor, refrigeration plant. Now, I know that in my steel, which I'm using, I'm not using any hazardous material. In the insulation, I'm not using any hazardous material. But how I can guarantee about Akshay? I'm not sure about the boiler. What is the material inside? I can't open it. Yes or no? So it is not just the ship owner, but it is also the, we can say it is also, you have to take the feedback from the manufacturer, you see. So what shipyard will do? Shipyard will take information from the part manufacturer and the machinery manufacturers. Like they will do the declaration that there is no hazardous material. If it is there, this is the quantity, this is the location. So they have to supply us with the material declaration and supplier declaration of conformity. Okay, these two things they have to supply to shipyard. Understood? Now, after that, we will make the, in some case, check of, in some case, you can also do a check of materials. So after this, we will make a IHM part 1. So after that, we will make the IHM part 1. When IHM part 1 is made during the construction stage, how I will make it? The shipyard will take feedback from the parts manufacturer and the machinery suppliers. They will send their material declaration and the supplier declaration of conformity. Okay, these they will just tell the records. Second stage is the operational stage of the vessel. During operational stage, when certain changes are made on board, an updated IHM is required. Suppose I fit a new ballast water treatment plant. Suppose I fit a new boiler. Suppose I retrofit a new machinery, okay, or a major change. Then also I have to make change in which IHM? In the IHM part 1. IHM part 1 needs to be updated then, yes or no? Because I made some major changes in that. Correct? Okay. So for that case, I will need an additional survey. Okay. The existing IHM part 1 will receive an update or will be further expanded if needed. Okay. Then we come on to the recycling stage. Okay. Recycling stage will have the remaining 2 IHM. This is to be done by you. You means the crew. Recycling stage, ship has reached the end of its operational life, economic life. It has to be demolished and recycled. Recycling ship is a major challenge in both social and all that stuff. Okay. During the preparatory phase of the decommissioning, a final investigation, that is part 1, 2, and 3 is carried out. This IHM report forms a major source of information for ship recycling plan and the selection of ship recycling facilities. Okay. So in part 1 we have seen. Part 2 we will have all the operational. Part 2 and part 3 will have all the spares which are left out. Okay, all the sludge generation, all the garbage which you have got on board. So that all inventory you have to take and you have to make the part 2 and part 3. Okay, I'll show you that in the course of lecture. Okay, we'll see what is part 1. Hazardous material contained in the ship structure and equipment. That is part 1. Okay. Then part 2 again you'll have equipment and machinery containing materials. Paints and coating system will come in that. Okay, like switchboard, diesel engine, diesel generator. You see lead is given. So where it is, parts were used in ingredients of copper compounds, 0.01 kg. Diesel engine, again, it is written. Switchboard, ECR. We are using cadmium and mercury. Where we have used housing coating heat gauge. How much quantity it is given. Okay.
So this
Yes,
part
my
2, part 3 is for the IHM.
part 1. Yes, part 1 of IHM. This is IHM part 1 actually.
No, like IHM is divided into 3 parts.
Yes, yes. Correct. This whole is part 1 only. Still you are looking at the part 1. Don't worry. Okay. Now in this you will have like structure and hull containing materials. You can have wall panels. They're telling there is asbestos in this. How much quantity? 2,500 kilos. Okay. Wall insulation, lead and asbestos. Perforated plate. How much? 0.01 kg. 25 kg insulation. Okay. And where is the location? They have put. Now coming on to the part 2. This is part 1. So in part 1, I have told you that there is a plan which will tell the location of the hazardous material. They have told here, you can see, they marked the areas. There is a plan which will tell the location. You can see there's a diagram also. Again, they mark the location. And here it is. Auxiliary boiler lagging. Asbestos. Yes. Akash, please check your mic. Now coming on to part 2. In part 2, what we have the operationally generated waste. All the sewage, all the garbage, okay, all the residues which are left, that will come in the part 2. All the operationally generated waste, dirty oil, sludge oil, and whichever is left. The garbage, the bilge, some residues of the cargo, okay, ballast tank, water, sediments, all that stuff will come. Okay, operationally generated waste. Then what is IHM part 3? IHM part 3 has the stores which are left now. Like paint stores, some liner, whatnot. Okay, whatever has some hazardous material that is given in the IHM part 3. Okay, so now we'll see what is IHM. We'll write it now. So what is IHM part 1, guys? What it have? It will have details of all hazardous material. All hazardous materials on board, okay, which are installed during construction. Installed during construction, okay, and also any major retrofitting during operation life. Operation of vessel. Okay. So IHM part 1 will be there always, and IHM part 2 and part 3 are not there on, like they are not always. They are to be prepared only during the recycling. Okay, part 1 is also there, always there. So part 1 will be made during the construction stage of the construction stage of the vessel. And what about part 1? Okay. And what about part 2 and part 3? Part 2. What is the contents of part 2? What was the name?
Operationally generated.
Operationally generated waste. What is part 3? So part 2 and part 3, when we will make, we'll make it during the recycling stage also. Okay. Part 2 and part 3 are made during the recycling stage of this. Any doubt in this, please ask me. Yes, my friends, any doubt in this, please ask me. Is this part clear? Okay. So you understood IHM part 1, part 2, part 3. Okay, that's great. Now, how do we make the part 1 that I already told you? That will take the declaration from the suppliers and the machinery manufacturers. Okay. So after this, what we'll have after the ship is built? The flag will do an initial survey. The flag will do the initial survey. Okay. And after the initial survey is done, okay, you'll get the certificate. You'll get the international certificate on inventory of hazardous materials. That is the part 1. After that, every 5 years, you will have a verification. That is the renewal survey. Every 5 years, you'll have a renewal survey. Okay. And whenever you make a additional, whenever you do a major change, you will have something called as additional survey. Whenever you make a change. Okay. And then we will have a final survey when the vessel is to be recycled. Like maybe after 30 years, when the vessel has to be recycled, then again you will have a final survey. So what surveys we have seen in this? Initial survey, renewal survey, and your final survey. Okay. Any doubt in this, please ask me. Okay.
So
Now,
these surveys are just to make sure we do list already prepared and it's matching with that.
yes, correct. Just a verification. It's matching with that. Like you're not hiding something. You're not done in retrofitting all that stuff. Okay. You see the survey verifies part 1 of the IHM. Okay, and you get the international certificate of inventory of hazardous material. Okay, should be issued after this. Renewal survey every 5 years. Just a verification. Okay. You'll get a new certificate. Additional survey when the ship owner does some changes. Okay, or some major repair, then you'll get this international certificate on hazardous material. Because if you have made some change, the certificate has to be endorsed. Okay. And final survey is done before the vessel is to be recycled. Okay, before the vessel is to be recycled. And when you do the final survey, you will get a certificate called as IRRC, International Ready for Recycling Certificate. Okay, International Ready for Recycling Certificate. Is it fine? Everybody is understood until now? Yes, my friends.
Yes.
Okay. Now coming on to the most important part of the HKC. If you understand this, you will understand the whole convention. Okay. Now we will see the process of recycling. It is being asked in the orals. How would you recycle a ship, or how does the recycling happen on? Okay. So please listen carefully. First of all, whenever you want to recycle, see there are 4 parties here. One is a flag. Let's say we have a Singapore flag also. Let's say we have a Singapore flag also. The flag is Singapore. Okay. Let's say the owner is Scorpio. Okay. And we want to recycle it in the, let's say, India. Alam and Bhanagar. And then the ship recycling facility, the owner is, let's say, maybe Aman, just name Aman Recycling. Just Aman Recycling, let us say. So there are 4 parties here. Please understand carefully. First of all, what we will do, we will tell, okay, we will, ship owner will tell that I want to recycle my ship. Okay. So he will tell your flagship that I want to recycle my ship. Now this ship owner will get in touch with some ship recycling facility, let's say Aman Shipbreaking, that I want to recycle my ship. So are you agree with that? They will sit together, they will have agreement, all that stuff. And then the ship owner will give some information which is required by the ship recycling facility. Because now let us say if I'm having my own shipyard, shipbreaking yard. Now suppose if a passenger ship is coming to my recycling facility for breaking, I have to have some different procedures. Suppose a tanker is coming, I have to have some different procedures. And I can't keep the same procedure that yes, take and cut. That doesn't apply here. Maybe for a gas tanker, I have to take more precautions. Maybe for a dry cargo vessel, I have to take less precautions. Right? Accordingly, I have to prepare. Because when a passenger ship is recycled, maybe they have a lot of items in that. How would I handle that? How would I handle all these materials? Because as the number of cabins are more, maybe the insulation is more, maybe the content of asbestos which you have, that is more. Correct? So accordingly, we have to take some action. So for that, the ship recycling facility has to make a plan that is called as a preparation of ship recycling facility plan. So how I can make it? I will take all the documentation required from the ship owner. So ship owner will send me the documentation, and then I will make the ship recycling facility plan. After I have made the ship recycling plan, okay, ship recycling facility plan, I have to take approval from whom? From the ship recycling state. That sir, this I have done a contract with him. He's coming to my ship recycling facilities, and this is the plan I have made. So the India will check the plan of Aman Recycling, and they will authorize it. After they authorize the ship recycling plan, that is called as DASR. Okay, documentation of authorization to conduct ship recycling. So it is a kind of a license. It is a kind of a license that yes, you can conduct. Okay, yes, you can conduct. Okay, so because see, now if let's say I'm in India, okay, or let's say suppose you want to go for any insurance agency or anything, these people have got their something called as or CA or lawyer, they have got this number, authorization number. Yes or no? Like if you go to a lawyer, they have got the authorization number. If you go to an insurance agent, he has got his authorization number. Means he's certified. Let us say a person, a marine engineer who's teaching in a college or a research or in let's say training academy, he also gets it something called as this what they call as some ID number, okay, from the DG, that yes, he's authorized to teach. Same way, this guy Aman Recycling also needs a license from the country. So that is called as a document of authorization to conduct ship recycling. That is called as DSR. Okay, so he is a authorized person that yes, he can conduct the ship recycling in my country. Now I have taken all the content from him. Okay. Now I have also informed the flag. The ship owner has informed the flag. The flag will tell, okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Make the IHM. Make the IHM. When I say IHM, which IHM talking about here? IHM part 1. Is it only 1? Part 1 was already there. 2 also and 3 also. This is the time when I need to make all the 3 IHM. Okay, IHM part 1, part 2, part 3. Understood? Yes or no, my friends?
Yes, sir.
First of all, I have to sign a contract or agreement with the authorized person, authorized ship recycling facility who has a document of ship recycling, DSR. I cannot go to any Tom, Dick and Harry ship recycling and get my ship recycled. No, I have to go only for authorized person. After I have made the IHM, okay, then I will send it to my flag. Okay, I will send to my flag, and this same IHM I will send to the ship recycling facility also. Now, depending on that, he will make the SRP, that is called as a ship recycling plan. One was your SRFP. I'll just make you first the difference between both. See, what are the documents here? One is SRFP. Please do not confuse. SRFP means ship recycling facility plan. Next is your SRP. It is ship recycling plan. Now, what is the first one? The SRFP is like a license by the. This is like a license or authorization. Okay, this is authorization that yes, he is authorized to do the recycling. Now, what is SRP? It is a ship specific plan. It is a ship specific plan. Now, when I will get the IHM, okay, when now the ship owner who is sending his ship, he will share the IHM with me. So I have IHM part 1, IHM part 2, IHM part 3 with me. Now I know this material is how I should handle. Operation generated waste, how would I handle? Let's say the sludge oil quantity is maybe 10 tons. Then I will have to arrange for 10 tons of reception. Where I should keep this. How much oil will be left? That also I have to keep ready. Then let's say it is a tanker. So I have to have blowers for ventilation. I should have that oxygen meters. I should have the multi-gas reactor for the enclosed space entry. Okay. Then IHM part 3 about the spares. What all spares are there? How would I handle them? That all comes in this. Are you getting my point? SRP and SRFP, have you understood the difference?
Yes.
Yes, everybody? Don't worry, we will do the whole process again to make it like more better, to revise it properly. After I made the SRP, okay, I will again need authorization from the flag, from the, sorry, not flag, but the ship recycling state. After it is the authorization, okay, then I have approved SRP. Then I will have approved SRP. Now the flag of Singapore will ask me that where is the SRP and where is the SRP. So that copy I will show to the flag state of the Singapore, and then they say, okay, so I am confirmed now you are going to a country which is a member of HKC, you're going to a ship recycling facility which is authorized, and the ship recycling facilities have already made a approved ship recycling plan. So everything is good now. See, I understand there's a lot of content. It will be slightly difficult, but we'll do it again. Don't worry. Okay. After I made the approved ship recycling plan, I've got the approved plan. Means India says, go ahead. You can do the recycling. Now I'm waiting from the call from Singapore. Singapore will also say, okay, yes, you can go ahead. Now, how will they give the call? By doing the final survey. Now they will do the final survey and I will get the IRRC certificate from the flag state. After I get the IRRC certificate, I can go there and I can start recycling of my ship. After I recycle my ship, we get something called a statement of completion given by the flag, okay, and that a copy of this is sent to the Singapore. Okay, copy of the completion is sent to Singapore, and Singapore can remove the ship from the register. They can remove the ship from the register. Have you understood now? Don't worry, we will do it again now. Okay, we'll do it on our own now. Now let us see. We'll do it like a flow chart. What is the first step? First step is to have an agreement. Okay, have an agreement with the. First of all, we'll see only the ship recycling facility plan. Ship recycling facility plan. Suppose, now let us take example. Here are, like, let's say it's me and Akash. Okay. Let's say Akash has a ship recycling plan. Akash is the ship recycling facility owner. Okay. He is the SRP. Let's say Deepak is a ship owner. Deepak is the ship owner. He's a ship owner. Now Akash and Deepak will sit together and they'll say, okay, I will recycle my ship in your ship recycling facility. Okay. So to do the business, Akash needs a license, yes or no? To do the business, Akash needs a license from the government, yes or no? Which government? He needs from India because he's in India. Okay. So Akash will need a what we call as a license. So he will take it from home, from India. Okay. So he will make a ship recycling facility plan. He will show it to the ship recycling state. Basically India. After that, you will get the, what document will the India give to this Akash? What document they will give?
DSR.
Document of authorization for ship recycling. So this is the license by Akash. So now Akash is a person with license that he can do the recycling. Okay. Now Deepak will get in touch with the now Deepak will get in touch with your Akash. Okay, that I want to recycle my ship. He's already approved. Okay, he has already approved. Now, with respect to the requirements of Deepak, okay, with respect to the requirement of the ships, he will make the ship recycling plan. Okay. Now, this is the shipping facilities, and here we have the, let's say, ship owner side. And we'll see here the ship owner. Now, what he will do will work. So, first of all, before I want to do the recycling, okay, before I want to do the recycling, the ship owner should inform the flag. Means give a notice to flag that I want to recycle my ship. Okay. Then after that, what ship owner should do? What he should start making? He start making the IHM. After the IHM is made, he will share a copy of this. Now the ship recycling facility, okay, like the Akash recycling facilities, want to make a plan for that particular ship. Like let us say that you are a doctor with a license. Now, what kind of patient is coming to you? According to his requirement, you will give the medicine. According to the patient, you can't give everybody paracetamol. And you have to act according to his requirement. So how do I know his requirement? I will take the IHM content, and according to the IHM, I will make what? Now what I will make? I will make the
SRP.
ship recycling plan. Now I will make the ship recycling plan. Okay, everybody is clear until here? Please let me know. If not, ask me to repeat. Otherwise, we'll go further. Shall I repeat this part?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Have you understood or shall I repeat? Tell me.
Yeah, repeat, sir. Repeat.
Yes, sir. Repeat, sir.
Okay, I'll tell again. No problem. Okay, look here. What is happening over here? Like, let's say there is a guy who is doing a business. Let's say one is Akash, okay, and there is Deepak is the ship owner. Okay. Now Deepak ship is, let's say, flagged with the Singapore. Deepak is flagged with Singapore. Okay, Deepak is having flag of Singapore. Now Akash is having his facility in India, in Gujarat. He's having his facility in India. Now Deepak wants to recycle his ship in India. Okay, Deepak wants to recycle his ship in India. So he calls up Akash that Akash, I want to recycle my ship in your facility. Then Akash says, okay, it's good that I'm getting a customer. So he should be an approved ship recycling facility. Akash should have a ship recycling facility, which is approved. So authorization, who will give it? It will be given by the India. Okay, so for that he will get the DSR. This is like a license to recycle. Okay. Now, depending on the requirement of the ship, he will take the IHM and he will make the ship recycling plan. This ship recycling plan is a ship specific plan. It is a ship specific plan. Depends on the ship and what things are to be included in that, what things not to be included. So it is a ship specific plan. SRP is a ship specific plan. Suppose next customer coming to Akash is Deepak. Then for after Deepak, let's say it's Akshay or Ankit or Nikhil. For each person, he will make a separate SRP, but DSR will remain same. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood,
Yes,
everybody?
sir. Yes, sir.
It depends on the person who is coming. He will make the SRP, but DSR will always remain common because that is a license number. And suppose you are going to, I'll give you a more simple example, wine shop. Now let's Abhilash needs maybe oiled monk, Akshay needs maybe Bacardi, and Ankit needs maybe Breezer. Okay. So depending on his requirement, he will give the bill. But authorization is always the same. Getting my point? Okay. So he will make the SRP, ship recycling plan. Now, after ship recycling plan is made, now he will get this ship recycling plan approved by whom? He will get the approval from India again. SRP has made, India will check, the country will check, and then they will approve the SRP. Now I should have a approved SRP. It means my country, India, does not have a problem with the recycling. That everything is approved from India side. Okay. Now I will take this copy of approved SRP and I will share it to whom? To the flag of Singapore. Depending on this, Singapore will come to know that yes, you are going to approve the person and your recycling plan is already approved. So yes, I can do the final survey. Okay. Now Singapore will do the final survey. Everybody is okay till here?
Yes, sir.
This approved SRP will be shared with the ship owner and he will share it with the flag sheet. So they have seen, okay, it is approved. We have got authorized plan. Now after this, what certificate you will get?
IRRC.
Now you have got the IRRC. The last call has to be taken by the flag state of the ship. After they take the IRRC, what they will do? They will start the recycling of the ship. Now the recycling starts. After the recycling is complete, what will you do now?
Completion.
Statement of completion.
SOC.
We'll have a statement of completion SOC. Don't say statement of compliance. So please remember that statement of completion. So it has been done. Now this will be again shared to the whom? To the a copy is
Flag.
given.
Flag.
This is sent to the flag. So this and it is flag com kya dete hain? We give it a copy. So now based on this, the flag can deregister the ship. They can delete the ship from their records. Okay. So that is how it goes. I hope you have understood now.
So after statement of completion, copy is given to flag state, and the main thing will go to the this India only.
Original will be with the India because that comes in the record of India that
India.
I have done the recycling.
Okay, sir.
Understood everybody?
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yes, Vikram, please.
If I am a ship owner, I sold it to some third party after changing the flag, and then that guy scrapped it in a non-Hong Kong convention member, then this cannot do anything.
See, now I'll just ask you an example. Like India is not a party to Ballast Water Convention. Right? Now in India, if I'm not following Ballast Water Convention, can anybody do something? Because this is simple. See, in marine, in IMO and everything, my area, my rules. Right? Whatever it is, my area, my rules. If I do outside my area, yes, they can have something. But if I'm not a member to Hong Kong Convention, why should I worry? Why should I follow? Okay, nothing can happen in that case. Okay, and I'll tell you honestly, that is how it is happening. Anybody of you has ever got your ship recycled? Anybody? Or maybe you have handed over to those people? Anybody has some experience something like that? Like the ship went for recycling? Like generally what happens, there is a specific set of crew who will come for recycling. Okay, they'll take over the ship. The flag will change and then the recycling happens. It is a normal practice in shipping. Okay. They give it to some other flag and then they do.
But sir, everyone has to follow this convention, no? Irrespective of ratification.
No, it can't be everyone. Only the parties who are member to it. Okay, only they have to follow. Okay.
Then, so then member parties will lose the business.
No, but most member parties, yes, they will lose the business. That is for sure. But it depends on the ship owner also. Some of the ship owner, they might send it to some non-compliant country. Right? But suppose they are bringing it to India. India is a member to HKCs. India will follow HKCs.
No, but like, कोई कहीं पे भी करा सकता है कभी like ऊपर government.
Okay. Suppose like I'll just give an example. Suppose somebody is sick. कोई बीमार है. Somebody is sick. Now whether it is always a good thing that you go to an approved doctor. If you want, you can go to a roadside doctor also. Nobody is stopping you for that. And it's completely your choice, whatever you want to do. Okay, but as a country, you're always encouraged to follow the convention because still convention is not in force, but India is already following it. If you're bringing it to India, Bangladesh, you have to follow HKC because India is a party to HKC. And only it will not be followed if you are a member of a non-HKC country and you're sending the ship to non-HKC country. Both are non-parties to that. Okay. But if it is coming into India, you have to follow that. That is for sure.
They are part of the convention, they will have to follow.
Sorry?
The
Yes,
countries
yes.
that are part of the convention, they will have to do this, otherwise.
Yes, correct. The party of the convention has to follow. That is the like the bottom line. Okay. So part 1, part 2, part 3 we have seen. The data collection of hazardous material I have told you. The shipbuilder takes the feedback from the equipment suppliers and the machinery suppliers. Okay. Now inventory of hazardous material, like it will have the this particular the ships attachment like HM part 1, part 2, and part 3. Okay, this attachment just they're having. Then the same like AFS paint, unknown paints, it has a TBT. How much quantity? This much, confirmed by sampling. Then main engine boiler. This is complete part 1. This is IHM part 1. Where is the location? Okay. Hazardous material contained in ship structure and equipment. Please write the whole name. What is IHM part 1? Hazardous material contained in ship structure and equipment. Please write it. This is IHM part 1. Okay, have you written?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is I've told you. Part 2 I told you. Part 3 we have seen. Part 3 will have the list of stores like paint stores. Okay. Then some liquid like hydraulic oil, lubricating oil, boiler water treatment, and gases, HFC. Okay, all these will be given in that. Okay. Fine.
वो पार्ट 1 का तो दिखाएंगे क्या पार्ट 1? Sir, here they have mentioned batteries. तो आपने उस दिन बताया था batteries Annex 5 में आएगा.
No, you're not. See, we are in HKC now. We are not talking about MARPOL. We are in, see, okay. That is during the operational life of the vessel. That is during the operational life. We talk about MARPOL and all. But now you're scrapping the whole ship. You're sending the ship to the ship. So this is now comes in HKC. You will not talk about, if you go by that rule, then AFS will come under AFS convention. You go by that rule. Then the oil will come under Annex 1. No, you have not to follow that. That is during the operational life. Like if I tell you in brief, like let us say, okay. Let's say this is the when the ship is put into service. This is when the ship is in the ship recycling facilities. So after this, only HKC will apply. Before this, also HKC will apply. You can't apply MARPOL when the ship is not yet built, and you can't apply the MARPOL when the ship is not moving. No, it is on the shore now. It's on the beach. It is already in the land. So MARPOL does not apply anymore. It is not trading anymore. Fine.
Fine. Sir, can you scroll up on this page? Initially, notes taken.
Sorry.
Can you scroll up on those handwritten notes?
Notes for this HKC.
No, like the ones that you have that notepad open up. उसमें like ऊपर जो हमने कुछ लिखे थे एक बार.
This I have not made for this, to be honest, because I suppose you are also writing from your end. That is what I suppose from your end.
But sometimes I miss that.
I will give you the recording, that's a question. Otherwise, I can.
Sir, any limitation to this to the gross tonnage in this convention?
No, nothing like that. We'll have a look. Nothing like that, but as of now. Now, recently a question was asked on, we'll see, by Gadkar sir only, it was asked recently about the, okay. We'll see this, item part 3, liquids, then gases, and your consumer goods like refrigerators, personal computer, and all that stuff will come in this. Okay. Fine. Okay. Now, the next question is, it was recently asked, when India ratified your HKC convention? So anybody has an idea? It is on, please write it. India ratified the HKC on. There was a question recently asked, when India ratified HKC. So it was on 28th of November 2019. Okay. It is also called, the question might also be asked, what is the latest convention ratified by India? It's not actually ratification, but accession. It is not ratification, but it is called as accession. But survey asked that way only. If you go it technically, it is that only. It is accession, not ratification actually. The question was asked in that manner. Okay, fine. Then how to make the SRFP? This, okay, you should have all the policy and all. It's not for class 2. Then how to make the SRP? Description of ship specific preparatory work, how you will make it, onboard checks, management plan of the hazardous material, how will you make, how will you do the tank entry, how will you do the hot work, dismantling sequence, how would you start? That is ship specific plan, SRP. And SRFP is for the whole ship recycling facility. How to get the authorization from the flag, DSR. This is to get the DSR, and this is to get the approved SRP. Approved SRP. Okay, this we have seen. Then this is like the Ship Recycling Act of India. Okay, before we had a Ship Recycling Act, so this is that. How a recycle owner of a ship who intends to recycle a ship shall make an application to the national authority for ready for recycling certificate. A ready for recycling certificate may be issued after successful completion of the survey and shall be valid for a period of 3 months. So what is the validity of IRRC certificate? That is only and only 3 months. Why 3 months? Because maybe I sold my ship to, let's say, somebody, and now I gave my ship in the pretext that the vessel will be sent for recycling. But he might be using it for trading, you never know. 1 year, 2 years, he's running that vessel. I sold the vessel, I got the money for the breaking of the ship. I got that much money. But now the person whom I sold the vessel, he is running the vessel. Okay, he is trading the vessel. He is doing cargo operation in that. Just to limit that, the validity is only kept as 3 months. Understood? Just to limit that, the validity of this is kept as only 3 months. Ship recycling plan. No ship recycler shall recycle any ship without a ship recycling plan prepared accordingly in guidelines with the national authority may specify the guidelines for preparation of a ship recycling plan for different categories of ship. So he's telling about how to get the approved SRP. Approved SRP, how to get. Okay. Now you can take a screenshot of this one. Okay, this is just providing a license from the authority. This is about the DSR. Only accept ships that are compliant with the HKC. Okay, Basel Convention was before. No need to ask. No need to go into Basel Convention. It was for the control of trans-boundary movement. Have you ever heard of Basel Convention? It is not asked in class 2. Okay, so leave it. Basel is a class 1 question. Now the ship owner will notify the vessel's flag state administration in writing that he wants to recycle the vessel. The ship owner shall provide SRA with all documentation necessary to complete the SRP. And after that, they will get the approved SRP. Okay. Understood? The SRP must ensure they can complete the ship's dimension. They can bring that much big vessel. Then before the agreement, the facility shall provide the vessel's flag state with an SRP approved by the competent authority. before the which survey, before the final survey, you should have an approved SRP. Okay. After approved SRP, they will issue the IRRC, and then you will do the recycling. Okay. That is how the process is, which we have seen in the diagram. Now, how does the certificate looks like? This is the certificate. IRRC certificate, International Ready for Recycling certificate. Okay, IRRC certificate valid for only 3 months. Name of the state, by RO, name of the ship. Particular of ship recycling facility will be given in this, where you are going to recycle the ship. Okay, name, letter, address, and date of expiry of the DSR.
So ये DSR के full form क्या था, एक बार please बता दो. Document of
document of authorization to conduct ship recycling. Okay, document of authorization for your ship recycling. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, particular the ship recycling plan. Okay, all these will come, and this is the DSR format. Okay, the DSR format. This is document of authorization in accordance with the HKC. Okay. Name of state, RO. Fine. Name of the ship recycling facilities, address, everything. This is about the license for your ship recycling facility. License for the ship recycling facility, DSR. Now, there is one more. Before HKC, we had something more that was called as EUSRR, European Union Ship Recycling. Okay, ship recycling EUSRR. So this is also kind of your HKC only. It was primarily to your what we say as HKC, like you had in your recently, which convention came this AFS? No. See, in yes, like we have your IMO DCS. Okay. I have IMO DCS. Like same way you have your what we say as EUMRV. Yeah? We had EUMRV. So always first Europe does something and then the IMO follows. It is a normal practice now. Okay. It is a normal practice now. So same way like HKC before we had EUSR. It is European Union Ship Recycling Regulations. It is European Union Ship Recycling Regulations. Okay. So now they're asking what is the difference between both. Okay, what is the difference between both? So in HKC you have only 13 hazardous material. How much? 13. But in EUSRR, you have 2. What are those 2 extra? One is the PFOS and HBCDD. Perfluorooctane sulfonic acid and brominated flame retardant, HBCDD. But if you see the latest amendment of the FSS code, I hope you remember, if you have attended my class, the latest amendment of FSS code, what does it say? That you are not supposed to use PFOS, okay, anymore in any firefighting equipment. So they are also trying to ban now. Even IMO is also trying to ban PFOS. But you can say there's a difference between the USRR and HKC. Okay. Yes or no, my friends?
Okay, sir.
है ना?
PFOS इस कोड में बताया आपने तो IMO पर
this is latest amendment in FSS code. FSS code also has banned it now. Because it was used in the foam firefighting.
What is the full form of FSS?
Fire safety systems. SOLAS chapter 2-2 FSS code. Fire safety systems. Firefighting वाला जो है ना?
But if they ask certificates under HKC?
Yeah, you have to say that IRRC certificate. That is what they'll ask you most probably.
तो DSR भी आएगा सर?
DSR also you can tell, document of authorization for ship. Now, this was an old question anymore, but what was GP and IHM? So green passport was the old concept. It is under your EUSRR. Okay. What a green passport was told? Green passport initiated on December 2003. IHM is the successor to that. IHM is next to that. In green passport, what used to do? Like all the ship owners, they used to declare on their own. That is the items we have on board. So this is the details. This is the details of that. But in IHM, you will do a verification. You will have surveys. In Green's passport, you did not had anything. It was just by the declaration what you said. Okay. You see, the main difference between GP and IHM has control measures for asbestos, ozone depleting substances, antifouling compounds, and PFOS. And service scheme is required as well. There are also changes to hazardous material declared. Okay, so see, GP was prepared without any legal statements. Nothing was required. No declaration, no nothing. But only based on declaration of shipyard and ship owners. They used to make that green passport. It is just like your IHM, but nothing legal was there. Okay, just a declaration by them. That is called as a green passport. But now the green passport is obsolete now. It is no more used. Now it is called as a IHM again. Okay. Now they're asking you a question. How will you maintain IHM on board? During the operational life of the vessel, okay, during the operational life of the vessel, whenever you see any major change which affects the IHM part 1, you have to request for an additional survey. You should get the IHM part 1 updated. Okay. And whenever you order some machinery parts, whenever you order some spares, make sure you check the contents of that. Check the material declaration by the supplier properly. Okay, yes. If any machinery or equipment is added, removed or replaced, the material declaration should be supplied by the given supplier, shall be properly filed, and part 1 shall be updated. So you have to update that. Okay. And when we will do the IHM original survey? Every 5 years. Okay. I will have the IHM original survey.
Every 5 years.
Yes, every 5 years.
So in this, they have also mentioned IHM certificate.
Yes,
IHM certificate.
I've showed you that, right? This one here.
No, so if they're asking certificates, we have to mention these 3, no?
Yes, yes.
IHM certificate, IRRC, and DSR.
DSR, International Certificate of Inventory of Hazardous Material. You have to say this 3 certificates: IRRC, International Certificate of Inventory of Hazardous Material, and DSR. These 3 you need to tell.
And so one more doubt: if a ship is going to recycle in the country of Turkey, so they have to follow EUSRR?
No, they will follow. See, in that case, they will follow both. They'll follow both because it is almost same now.
Okay.
Okay. Because see, in India we have HKC and we have Ship Recycling Act of India. Okay, that is only for India specific. So any ship which comes there, he has to follow that also. Right? So it is like they have just included the main content of HKC in that. It is one or same thing.
Okay.
If you want, I can show you that also. This is a Ship Recycling Act.
And if a ship is European flagged vessel, then they will follow both the convention.
They have to follow both. This is the Recycling of Ships Act 2019. Okay. This is a complete act of 16 pages. They will tell how to recycle all that stuff. Okay. For applicability, let me just check it whether it's for 500 GT and above or not. I'll just check the convention. Okay. Definitions, general obligations. Okay, application, we'll see. The convention shall apply to ship to fly flag of a party, ship is in facility of India, jurisdiction. Does not apply to warships, naval ship, other ships owned or operated by the party. Okay, okay. This one, the ship shall not, ships of 500 GT and less are also exempted in this. Okay, somebody asked me the question. You can see
Yeah,
here. Ships of less than 500 GT are exempted. Okay. You can see here. Fine. Okay. These are the questions being asked generally. Before they asked a lot, like the ratification criteria of HKC when it did not come into force. But as it has already come into force, they don't ask anymore. Okay, you can see. The convention, now I think Akshay asked me the question regarding ratification. So please have a look.
Yes, sir.
The convention shall be open for signature by state at the headquarters of the organization, means IMO, from 1st September 2009 to 2010. So if you would have signed within this time period, then what is that called? That is called as a ratification. Okay, that is called as a ratification. Okay, if you come after that, okay, if you sign after that, that is called as a accession. I hope you understood now.
In accession, sir, like it is in the grace period.
Not in the grace period, after that date, whenever after that date.
What
Yes, that is called as.
between, like, if you have ratified or if you have assessed?
No, nothing like that. Like nothing more than that. Nothing like something major. Okay, at your level, no. Just like how you'll get the name. Okay, how does it make a difference? Nothing like in the legal and all, but just it shows when you sign the convention. It shows when you sign the convention. Okay.
India did it after the last date for HKC.
Yes. India did in 2019, na?
And what was the general last date, sir? As per this,
It was in 2010, only 1 year. Only 1 year.
So, but in class 2 level, we are using the word ratification only, no?
Yes,
We are not
in
going-
class 2, that not for that. The surveyor will also ask you like ratification, I will not ask you accession. You see, the convention shall enter into force 24 months after the date on which the following has been met. So these are the ratification criteria, the entry into force criteria. So the grace period is 24 months. This is the grace period. That's why it comes in after 2 years. Okay. Understood now? This is the convention. So mostly they will ask you about IHM. Okay, IHM is the most important part of this, the certificate and the process. That is being asked. I'll stop the recording now. Any doubt in HKC, what I've taught you, please ask me. If anybody has a doubt, please ask me in HKC. I'll stop the recording. Yes.
This IRR is valid for 3 months, no?
Mhm.
Means 3 months the ship has to be recycled.
Yes. Within 3 months, the ship has to be in the ship recycling facility. It should be there inside. Whether it dismantle or not, that is a different story. But it should be landing there. Means it should be standing in that ship recycling facility. At least it should reach its place.
And in case not, so then करना पड़ेगा final survey, right?
No, in that case, you can get for you can again ask for the, like, you can take extension, or you can again ask the survey. It can be done. Okay, that is not a problem, but you have to prove like why it is to be done, why it is required. Okay. Extension can be taken for sure. That is for sure. Anything else?
Sir,
Stop.
excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, after initial survey, they issue IHM certificate and IHM part 1.
IHM part 1 is made in previously only. Okay, based on that, they will issue the certificate.
Yeah, okay.
Because IHM part 1, who will make? It will be made by the ship owners, the shipyard. Okay, they will make it in coordination and it has to be approved. For that, they give this IHM certificate.
Okay.
So I'll stop the recording.